Thank you, Fred. So, as some of you may have noticed, we originally had 2 other poets scheduled for this reading for several months. Both of them had personal family emergencies this week and had to cancel. The good news is that we were able to welcome 2 poets who've already read in our series, who are favorites of ours, to come back. So it's also fun that the series has been around long enough now that we actually can invite people back who read a couple of years ago. So this is really exciting for us to bring back today Luke Stromberg and Elizabeth Hazen. Elizabeth read for us on Zoom, so this is officially you're in person for the first time, so that's doubly cool to have you back. Elizabeth's poems have appeared in many magazines, including Best American Poetry, American Literary Review, Shenandoah, Smartish Pace, Southwest Review, the Threepenny Review, and others. Her first book, Chaos Theories, was released in 2016 from Squire Publishing, and her new book, Girls Like Us, appeared just a couple of years ago. I believe both of them are available in the front for purchase, so please check them out afterwards. I'm sure she'd be happy to read them for you. With that, I'm happy to welcome Elizabeth Hazen.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. It's especially neat to be reading here because I actually have been working here for about a year now. And it's also cool because I think Stephen's one of the first people I met in Baltimore, like way back. Also, just a reminder to those baristas, they have been working so hard today. It's been really, really busy. All right, so I'm gonna start, I make notes and everything, with a couple of newer poems that are not in the books. My son is 16, and I think the hardest thing I'm finding about having a kid that age is like when he asks me about, I don't know, the meaning of life and when he's depressed and it's like I have nothing to offer him to help him feel better. So a lot of what I've been writing recently is my attempt to, I don't know, to be both honest and not completely nihilistic. And this first one is a gloss, which is a form where you take 4 lines from an existing poem, and each of those 4 lines becomes the final line of a 10-line stanza. So the first 4 lines are not my own, but at least we know there's going to be 4 good lines in this poem. And so the lines that I took are from a poet who's just, I think, wonderful, Vijay Seshadri, totally mangling his name, and it's from his poem called Cliffhanging. And this is called Gloss for My Son, and the lines are, I won't let myself fall, but I don't want to pull myself up. I'm ambivalent forever now. But if you were here looking down on me and saying, grab my hand, I would. I know I surely would. Okay, so those are good ones. This morning, you told me you don't care about feeling better anymore. You've adapted to the nagging doom, the dirt we brush beneath the carpet, the other shoe that always drops. I'd say you're too young to be so dark, but when I was your age, sadness and rage were mixed up in everything I felt, vibrations holding me together. You see my inconsistencies. I embrace my despair as an old friend, even as I insist you must fill your own cup. I won't let myself fall, but I don't want to pull myself up. I've tried to hide my uncertainty, but you winced when I said the best years are ahead. So now I say time and age teach you to fall a little less painfully. I say skin thins as you get older, so steel yourself against disappointments now. Practice breathing, learn your limits, trust discriminately. Don't allow your inner critic to stifle every effort. I know it's hard, but some days just going through the motions is its own accomplishment. I'm still learning how. I'm ambivalent forever now, about everything except endorphins and rising seas and time moving in one direction, with or without us. It's not an easy moment to be alive. You hear me shout at other drivers, curse my rivals, declare I can't do it anymore. I don't know whether everyone feels this way, that staying in one place will do them in. I've fallen apart before your eyes, mad woman on her knees. I've failed to model gratitude, patience, praying. But if you were here, looking down on me and saying, I don't believe in anything either, I'd force myself to stand. I'd show you tattooed on my arm, there are millions of suns left. Some days this optimism is more grimace than smile, but still, I've papered my office with verses I love, photographs of people I love, a stack of books, the armor of my adulthood. It's easy to turn bitter, to ignore the miraculous beating heart, the sun's bold assertions. But if you fell, I'd call out, get up, keep going. I have a whole arsenal of good. Grab my hand, I would. I know I surely would. And then this is another really new one that's a similar theme. And my son wanted a tattoo, and that wasn't a battle I was gonna fight. So this is called Driving My Son Home from the Tattoo Parlor. 1. The thin black outline of a star swells pink beneath the bandage on your wrist. The weather is a split screen. Sunlight to the west, bright and yellow. To the east, a purple smudge of cloud. Drops pelt the windshield uncertainly. You look up from your phone and gate. Iridescence splashes from traffic. Tires kicking up spectrums of color like video game graphics. Psychedelic trails swirling at high speed. When we reach our exit, we see the wide, low arc stretched over the city, a postcard rainbow we deem a hopeful sign. 2. You can't wait to take the bandage off, for the skin to scab and heal, for your life to begin somewhere else, somewhere with desert and mountains, a place where you feel free. I know you know most wounds don't heal so easily. More often we make do despite discomfort, glaring scars, unsettled scores. I've tried to learn to want things as they are, and some days I remember how. 3. We used to read a picture book in which a crocodile collected puddles. Nothing stayed as he wanted, reflections altering as he moved. But with the water he painted pictures, and when the pail was empty, he used it to catch shadows. What I need to say is that I try to hold these moments, contain somehow the hours in the car or at the counter in our kitchen where you do homework and complain about the indignities of being alive. 4. In a year, or 5, or 20, will you regret the star on your wrist? Will you remember the drive and the rainbow and the rain? When you were small, I gave you crayons and paper, instruments and songs. What can I give you now? A map to guide you away from here? Impermanence and chaos will follow you. And weather. But you know this already too. The days are growing short again. Darkness draped over us when we wake. But spring will come back, bringing better light. The light is always shifting, but the sky through everything contains spectrums and stars. Constant and merciful, the sky will hold. Okay, so those are a couple of new ones for Greg. And I have a few, I think, that I'll read from the newer book. They're shorter, those ones were kind of long. I almost wasn't going to read them, but I know it's hard to listen to longer poems. So I have a couple of, it was just Halloween, a couple of horror movie related poems that are a little lighter, so I thought a little different. I like horror movies a lot, and it seems like if you spend a lot of time doing something, but then you write about it, it's like you've been just doing your homework. So I do a lot of homework. This is called It Happened Again.
There's something about the system here.
I don't want to hear this one.
What? Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Might be the battery.
Okay, sorry. So I don't know if anyone's seen Suspiria, the original. I don't know if the remake's any good, but this is inspired by a scene in that. If I can just find it. Okay. This is called Scene from a Horror Movie. Her breasts heave, thrusting cleavage into slants of glowing blue, and through her cotton nightgown, you see her nipples wink. I watch the wash of eerie light accentuate the dark between her girlish thighs. Someone with leather gloves reflected in the night. Her legs are long and slender. Each frame shortens, her night tension mounts. The killer strikes and she grasps at nothing, her face warping like a rubber mask. Her body shudders. A gasp like candy catches in my throat. And then this is a really old one, but it ended up in this book because it didn't fit in the other one. It's a sonnet, and it's called Why I Love Zombie Woman number 6. Because she's stuck with rigor mortis legs and decomposing skin, but perseveres. Because she sees without eyeballs, she hears with oozing ears, because her organs like eggs dropped from their carton hit the path with slats. But still, she trudges on. Because her need is clear, uncomplicated. She must feed. Because she barely notices the rats that gnaw her ankles. Because she doesn't stop, even after the hatchet packs clean through her reaching arm. Because she will pursue her prey till they have nothing left to chop. Because when she lies in piles, inside out, she will not know regret, or shame, or doubt. I think I'll read 2 more. Read one from the first book. This is called Chaos Theories. A lot of the poems kind of draw from science. My father's a scientist, which probably has something to do with it. And so I'm just going to read the title poem. This is called Chaos Theory. You'd think disorder, anarchy, but chaotic systems twist into something like control. Patterns algorithmic, self-replicating, infinite. All it takes for things to turn is a blip, a shift minute as the flutter of wings, the opening of a door, a telephone unanswered, the clap of voices shouting, wait. My rage comes out of nowhere. The glass explodes when it hits the wall as physics says it must, but who knew I was capable of this? I wake each day to an alarm. Each night I watch the neon time tick by. A person can disappear from this equation swift as the click of a pawn shop trigger. The effect is vast as tectonic shifts, mountains spewing ash clouds, a newborn's blue-faced friend. But how can we isolate the cause of his departure? Chaos gives us endless bifurcations, the path of time from next to next. No chance of turning back. Instabilities overwhelm the earth. Addiction, population growth, disease, storms, earthquakes, infidelities, and a single pendulum with its routine tick-tock, tick-tock. Even this sorry heart, aperiodic after all, pounds wildly at entrances, exits, the memory of his touch, try as it will to keep a steady beat. And I'm just going to read one more, and I'm sorry to my husband and my dear friend who have probably heard this a million times. But it's one of my favorite ones to read. I used to be a classroom teacher for a lot of years, and I'm not anymore because now I'm a bookseller person here. But this is sort of modeled after, I guess, a lesson on literary devices. I think I wrote it in 2016 around the time of that election. So this is called devices. Rhyme relies on repetition. Pink drink, big wig, tramp stamp, rank skank. Alliteration too. Peter Piper's pickled peppers, silly Sally's sheep. Silly trumping smart because the L's create consonants. Assonance repeats vowel sounds. Hot bod, dumb slut, frigid bitch. Even his line, girl, we'll have a fine time, or her refusals, no, don't. In metaphor, we compare two things. Suppose a man calls a woman fox. We understand this is not literal. Same goes for pig, dog, chick. Same goes for octopus, as in, his hands were all over me. Metonymy relies on association. Suits, skirts that joke about the dishwasher. If it stops working, slap the bitch. Synecdoche reduces a thing to a single part. He wants pussy, by which we must infer he wants a woman. We've been called so many things that we are not. We startle at the sound of our own names. All right, thank you.
Liz, thank you. That was amazing. Beautiful poems. I hope that your son associates or connects his tattoo with that ride.
Yes, I hope so.
Because I think it will make it that much more special for him. It was certainly very special for us to hear about that. As the father of teenage kids spoke to him. Let's hear from two more open mics, and then we'll take a 5-minute break so you can recharge your glass.